And so these are the kind of the two segments that I try to portray. But as I said, where women stand today in Afghanistan, I think is still deplorable by in many regions. Granted, there have been improvements. We have a female provincial governor in Bamiyan. We have female members of the parliament. We have we had a female chief of police who was recently murdered, and we have women on television and working in hospitals and in schools. But I think the real challenge is in the rural area where women have no public life. You can improve things in Kabul, but Kabul was always kind of more avant-garde and progressive city. The real challenge is the bulk of the population where they live in these distant rural areas where women have no voice and no face. And I think that's where Mr. Karzai's challenge lies, in how to give voice to people who've been voiceless for so long.
And so the statistics are this. I'll just rattle them off very quickly. 80% of women in Afghanistan are illiterate. They have a life expectancy of 45 years, and only 13% of girls, as I understand it, complete primary school.
Yeah.
So what can be done? What can be done to help these girls get educated?
Well, and the startling thing about the 45 years is that men live 47. It's the only country in the world where men outlive women, which goes a long way toward showing the lack of access to health care and women dying from childbirth and of really preventable diseases because of lack of access, but also because of cultural obstacles. There's a lot that needs to be done, but I think one of the hopeful things that we have seen in Afghanistan is and there haven't been too many success stories in Afghanistan in the last 7 years, but one of them has been education. 6.5 million kids since 2002 have enrolled in school. 40% of them are girls. And so I think it starts with education. Greg Mortensen, who's an amazing man, who wrote a book called 3 Cups of Tea, who's built something like 70 schools in that region, has a favorite saying. He says, you educate a boy, you educate an individual. You educate a girl, you're educating a community. And I think the education of these young women who are going to be the next generation of Afghans, it bodes well. But we have to keep working forward. We have to create an environment where women in Afghanistan can be given their right within the context of Afghan culture. The past has taught us that if we try to radical reforms and overnight, give women and create a whole different kind of life for them, that there's going to be backlash. People are going to be very resistant. I think we have to do it slowly over time within deriving from Afghan traditions and Afghan customs. But there have been improvements, but we just have to keep marching forward. Another small example of how things have improved is this marriage contract that the government is trying to pass, where the law is that women can't marry before the age of 16. 60 to 70% of marriages in Afghanistan are underage, girls underage. So they're requiring people when they get married to register to enforce that the girl who's being married is not under 16. So those are some positive steps forward, but there's a lot that remains to be done.